Show me a good time, Billy. What? Another Walten Files video? What? Yeah, we're back. Oh, this person's great, by the way. Go watch their video about Bunny Farm. They talk about stuff that I don't talk about, so. But, alas, I guess that's why we're here today, huh? To talk about this stuff. Talk about other shit that I missed, you know. Other shit that I really wanted to talk to you guys about, but I just plain forgot. Alright? So, let's get back on the subject of Charles. Why are the subtitles so fucking big? Let's turn those off. Let's go all the way back. Here we go. Check this shit out. Lily's birthday party, huh? Who is this Lily? And since Boozoo is Charles, I have a feeling that these two quote-unquote characters, I mean, we know Charles is a character, but Lily herself also lost her father the same way that Sophie did. So, I think, because, okay, you gotta realize that Martin Walls doesn't just throw around names like it's willy-nilly. Like, why is this game from an arcade machine called Lily's Birthday? You know what I mean? Like, isn't it weird? Like how, like, it's the name of a person and it doesn't even sound like a game at all. It sounds like, doesn't it sound like someone important? So, with that being said, I think Lily is the daughter of Charles. And we can see later what happens to Charles, of course. And you know what I think happened here? I absolutely think that Charles went missing the same day that Lily's birthday party was. Maybe Lily never saw her own father again. And also, someone brought up a good point in the previous video that I did. What if Charles is a Walten? Like, that would be very interesting. Because, like, Sophie and Charles clearly know each other a lot. And, you know, clearly he's more important to the overall narrative of this, of all of this. So with that being said, I would not put it past Charles being a Walten. Like, I think it's plausible, but I wouldn't really bet on it all too much. But if he turns out to be a Walten, then wow, that would make a lot of sense now, wouldn't it? Alright. And then if we go back right here, we're going to talk about Lily again. So I talked about, you know, in the last video that Sophie and Jenny need to have a lot more allies to deal with all of this. Like, other people who know, like, something is fucking wrong with this place. Like, something in the atmosphere, like the way the animatronics move, the way workers have just disappeared, you know. It's people, we have to get people on Sophie's side that also feel the same way as her, you know what I mean? So with that being said, I think Lily might become an ally that Sophie and Jenny bump into in the next few episodes, or maybe even episode 4 itself, because it's going to focus a lot on Charles. Obviously, he's like mysteriously shown a lot throughout the Walten Files season 1 trailer. Go watch that, by the way, if you haven't already, because there's actually new content, like, from the trailer. Stuff we've seen before, obviously, as well, but there is new stuff, like new voice lines from Jack Walton, so go watch the season 1 trailer. So yeah, Charles's face was the only one that was shown. Well, no, that's not true, actually. Charles just had a bigger emphasis on himself more than the other characters when his face was shown. You know what I mean? I think I might put the video up, like, cause it was showing a bunch of images in the trailer, and his face was one of them, and it was really emphasized and big on the screen. So, and speaking of Charles, he has a family, which is even more fucked up and sad. I mean, I'm sure all of these people that died, I bet Susan had a family that she really wanted to go back to, you know. I mean, of course, but like, now that we know that it's possible that Charles has a daughter that will most likely be involved with all of this, he, I mean, like, it's all just so fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? To find out that you know, Lily being the daughter of Charles, Lily finally finding out the truth and what actually happened to her father. She was probably 8 or 9 or something around there, like when Lily, like when her birthday party at Bob's Burgers took place. But like now that it's 1982, she's probably like 17, maybe at least, maybe 16 at the minimum. But yeah, we might have a new ally on our hands, folks. I hope Lily becomes important later. Um, let's go back. Okay, there we go. So this is very interesting because we know that Felix had a wife named Linda Crankin, now divorced, became Linda Thompson again, obviously. But it's something that Felix said that made her snap. Because she says, "What you said last week, it hurt me a lot, but it opened my eyes, and I hope it opens yours too." So, what if we find out in the 4th episode? I know Martin Walls said that the 4th episode was a lot less dialogue heavy, but that's just because Bunny Farm was like really long and dialogue driven because Sophie was playing the game. That doesn't mean that it won't have dialogue. So I'm sure we'll have a little bit of Felix dialogue, a little bit of Jenny dialogue, a little bit of Sophie and Jenny dialogue, you know, all that fun stuff. You know what I mean? So, I mean, this, what he said to Linda was before May 2nd. And also, this is like Linda leaving Felix was also the day when Jack asked Felix for the favor and then killed his children. Yeah, this series should just be called Felix and the No Good Very Bad Day. Because it is not looking good for Felix. I mean, for God's sake, his wife left him and he accidentally killed 2 of his best friend's children. By accident, but it was his own irresponsibilities that killed them. Listen, wife left you, you're obligated to drink. You think that it's going to help you, you know, but it's a depressant drug, you know what I mean? Like, it amplifies what you're already feeling, what's already inside, which is why alcohol, seriously, is not good for you. I don't know when this started for Felix, but and speaking of that real quick, I'm glad that they didn't go for like the evil malicious manipulator. Instead, he went for, and when I say he, I mean Martin Walls. He went for this guy being a fucking pathetic loser. Like, seriously, he is so just, he's becoming a bit more egocentric. I mean, fucking look at the interview in on the Find Jack Walten site. Like he's become so egocentric at this point that he does not even give a shit like about anything anymore. He just cares about running his company. when the whole point of Bunny Smiles Incorporated was to run it with his best friend. And also, I looked in the description of, I think it was Lucky You, and yeah, Felix and Jack were indeed college students. They met in college. They had the idea. So fucking Felix lost his way because what the hell is he doing this for now? Like running a business without the man who helped create the idea in the first place? I mean, Felix contributed to their own idea, but like it's just like you do this, you fucking kill Jack and then what? You kill people who know too much? That's exactly what happened, I think. And then you lure his best friend's wife to go fucking into the back room and then be murdered by, and probably not even meaning to, by Jack to make like his own wife beautiful. I mean, like, what the hell are you doing this for, Felix? Like, your alcoholism. I mean, he's been drinking. Like, the last time we saw him was 1979. Like, the latest information we got about him was in 1979, I think it was. It might have been like, it was on the Jack Walton site, but nonetheless, um, I think that alcohol, like probably drank a lot more. Like, you know what I mean? Like he didn't swear to like, oh, I'm gonna stop drinking because this is a huge fucking mistake that I made. No, he made it worse on himself and he just kept drinking. And he's a mess. He's sorry to look at. It almost like hearing him and guilty makes me feel contact embarrassment almost. I mean, obviously he's not like your typical alcoholic, like, you know, like when people drink alcohol or they're alcoholics, you know, they yell, they raise their voice, they become nastier because their own insecurities are let out onto another person by yelling at said person. He's not like that. He's not that type of alcoholic. um I think he uses it to like just get away from the world. But like I said, alcohol is a depressant drug, and it makes everything worse. The more you drink, the less you will ever have. I mean, it's really sad because I don't know why he was just hooked on it for no reason. We don't know why. He probably started drinking a lot in college. That's definitely a reason because I know a lot of people who started drinking in college, and that's how they became alcoholics. So it's a sad thing to witness, and if we somehow fucking see like video recordings of Jack and Felix in college, and like Felix is at like a party or some shit, and he's like drinking his ass off, and that's how he meets Jack. Oh my god, like that'll be way too fucking real, man. Like it's such a real thing to like for like alcoholics to like really start drinking in college, because like that's when you party and stuff. But you know, like Jack probably saw it, like that was the first experience that he had with Felix. And then like when Felix is sober, they find out that they have different, or not different yet the same interests. And then they become best friends, and then they decide to work on this project together. And now all of this is for nothing, man. Like, how dare you be this much of a loser, Felix? Like, ugh, killing everyone to cover up your own tracks. This is. I know Bunny Farm was the beginning of the end of Jack's relationship with Felix, but it's just gonna get worse from here. Like, there's obviously going to be a confrontation, because I think we get a snippet of that said confrontation in the season 1 trailer, because it's new dialogue. So shit. Oh, also unrelated, but Linda had a cat, and Felix actually he doesn't really like cats that much. He neglected the cat, actually. And luckily, Linda decided to take the cat with her when she left him. Thank fucking God. Which, I'm not gonna lie, makes me hate Felix a little bit more. Oh, and the cherry on top of the shit sandwich is, guess fucking what? This is completely unrelated to anything in story related, but apparently this motherfucker hates pizza. Felix motherfucking Kraken hates pizza. He hates it. He doesn't like pizza. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's one thing to be an alcoholic and kill literally your best friend's wife, your best friend, and his best friend's children. Even though it was on accident, still not gonna be justified. He was drinking, he knew the repercussions, he didn't want to address his problems like Linda said, and now we're here. Just a whole tragedy Sunday. And then the cherry on top is probably going to be Sophie confronting him at some point, which I know I've seen fans wanting that ever since watching Bunny Farm, so and fuck yeah, I want that. I mean, I want that too. He needs to take responsibility of his actions. Shit, man. Felix is a very interesting antagonist, to say the least. And now we go from Bunny Smiles Incorporated with Jack Walton and Felix Crankin, Charles Penn, Susan Woodings, and Rosemary Walton, and the rest of the Walton family, to fucking Bullshit Incorporated. You know what I mean? Because it's just Felix now, I suppose. And then when he was finally just the founder, Brian and fucking Ashley died. So there you go. It's still Bullshit Incorporated. Felix didn't kill Brian or Ashley intentionally. It was Jack. I mean, it's obvious at this point. But we need to talk about another potential ally that could aid Sophie and Jenny in either helping Sophie remember all of the bad shit that happened, or we could also have an ally who fills Sophie in on the inside, because clearly this person is still working for BSI even after all this time. So first this person was mentioned by Susan, and then years after Susan's death was mentioned by Brian, but this person also had a save file on Bunny Farm, and his name is Chris. Apparently he is a BSI employee. That's all we really know about him, but I find it very interesting that he was there during the era of Jack Walton and Felix Crankin, and then just Felix Crankin's reign on the company. He's heard and probably was witness to not being directly in the room of when said people went missing, but probably felt the uneasiness of his friends / coworkers fucking going missing. You know what I mean? Chris would be a very fucking good ally for Sophie, especially because he could fill her in on who went missing, what were these people before they died. So I definitely think that Chris, Lily, Sophie, and Jenny are all people that are potentially going to team up together to figure out the truth of this whole tragic situation. And God, man, I mean, I hope so. I hope Lily is an actual real person connected to Charles, and Chris willing to fucking be there for Sophie, because he probably doesn't even know about the fact that that Sophie has been taking pills that makes her forget shit. And, you know, Chris probably fucking knew her, like, way before everyone was dead. So, like, it'll probably be a really sad conversation. Like, Chris being like, do you remember who I am? I used to work for your father. And she's like, no, I'm sorry. And then Jenny has to explain to Chris that, like, maybe, like, no, not maybe. She will explain that Sophie has been taking these pills to make her forget stuff about her teenage and mid-adult years. And, I mean, like, Chris will fucking understand, and, like, maybe Chris will, like, provide more information about Felix to us, maybe implying that Chris knew that Felix was the one to give Sophie the pills, but I'm not sure, because those pills might be prescribed. But how could she get prescribed pills from another person who isn't even in the family? You know what I mean? Like, there's already a lot of mystery, but there's just so much questions that need to be answered. I mean, for God's sakes, there's going to be 3 more episodes in season 1, and then 6 more episodes in season 2, baby. So we're already halfway through season 1, so, which is great, by the way. I like that. I just probably know that, like, you know, like, this upcoming Walten Files is probably going to be a bit shorter than Bunny Farm. I think everything is going to be a bit shorter than Bunny Farm, because, you know, Martin Walls did lose all of that data on his computer and then had to redo almost everything except for the voice lines. And, like, you know, some of the assets looked different. Like, it's kind of weird, you know? Like, some of the teaser images look a little bit different, but that's because fucking Martin Wall's computer shat itself. Okay, I'm just rambling about Martin Wall's fucking computer being shitty. But trust me, I've been there, buddy. I've been there a lot. As a content creator myself, my fucking computer, as good as it is, it shits it on itself all the time, so... You know, it's not the best feeling in the world to lose all that fucking progress for no reason. Anyways, I think that about does it for what else I wanted to talk about. I talked about Linda, I talked about Lily, I talked about Chris, I talked about the fact that Felix hates pizza, I talked about, like, Charles being even more important to this story than we already knew. But I gotta be honest, though. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to the idea of Charles being a Walten, but you know what? I would really like him to be a separate, like, person. You know what I mean? I would really like that. I don't know why. Like him being a Walten wouldn't even be that bad. I think it's like, that would be great if it could be pulled off correctly. Like, the idea of Charles being Sophie's uncle, which is why, like he's even talking to Sophie in the first place on the website, like, that would make sense. But I would just really like it if, like, Charles was just, you know, like, being that someone, like, that Sophie saw, like, frequently when she was, like, at Bon's Burgers, because she clearly worked there at one point as well, as a facility caretaker for K9, by the way, like Brian Stells. Actually, she might have just been checking in. Like, maybe there wasn't a position for facility caretaker back then, but she did work for Bunny Smiles Incorporated, obviously. Like, daughter and father, like, working together, it's common. It was common back then, so I really wouldn't put it past them, you know. But anyways, yeah, I would love it if Charles was just, like, that cool guy. Well, okay, not, you know, like, a human, you know, a guy. I mean, he's obviously going to be a guy and a human and, like, a relatable character in some way to Sophie / the audience. I'm sorry, my voice is cracking, by the way. Holy shit. But it's just, you know, like, him being a Walten, I don't have a problem with either, honestly. Like, him being a Walton, being the uncle, Jack's brother, like that could lead to some very interesting stuff. And like maybe like both Rosemary and fucking Charles could have a conversation. Like even though they're stuck inside these shells, like maybe they could have a conversation or something like I'm so sorry. And Charles is like thank you and that this wasn't her fault and like I'm just like being a fucking nerd at this point. I'm so sorry. I just really like the way that Martin Wallace sets up these mysteries. I love that we don't have that much information on Charles yet. Martin Wallace is a fucking cool guy who makes cool shit. So I suggest you subscribe to his channel because I am done skis with this video. Alright, I think that's all I wanted to discuss. Yeah, that's it.